Simu yangu ni simu yangu na simu yako ni simu yako.
Is privacy. Everyone has their own privacy, and I expect you to respect mine. I wouldn't go picking your phone all the time. If someone calls, and like for example, there's a time before this show, you held my phone and my dad called,
Yeah.
and you told me your dad is calling.
Mm.
That's how it's expected to be. Like you
Yeah.
see a call, you tell me, hey, someone is calling.
Hi guys, how are you doing today? I hope you are okay. Welcome back to the Love Corner Show. I'm Janet Kaluki. In case you're new here, this is a chat corner where we talk about issues regarding love, that is romantic relationship, friendship, parenthood, marriage, and everything life. If you're new here, guys, please subscribe to this channel. We would like for you to join us. With me today, I have two gentlemen, one on my right, the other one on my left, and we shall be talking about is social media and especially the use of the phone contributing to many breakups, to many couples breakups. Yes. We would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. And without further ado, allow me to let my guests introduce themselves.
My name is Gilbert Asuri, and I'm here to share my views.
Hi everyone. My name is Emmanuel Muthui, and I look forward to having a fruitful discussion with you.
I look forward to these conversations because I know it's dear and near to my heart. Because is the phone the problem or are the people the problem? Simu yangu ni simu yangu na simu yako ni simu yako.
I think it's a very interesting question. When it comes to phones, it's a very tricky discussion. And when you even invited us for this show, I was asking myself a lot of questions because I know this is a very controversial discussion. One, because it is too subjective. One person to the other, we are culturally different, and secondly, it is something to do with a person's character. So, for example, I'd say there are people that are open having their phones with anyone. Like you can, especially with it's a private thing. Okay, your phone is there's too much privacy that is required when you handle someone else's phone. But now there are people that are open when they're in a relationship to allow their partner to go through their phone. They don't have an issue, but they're very few. Most people don't like. In fact, if you get close to somebody's phone,
Are you one of those people?
for me, I believe you can use it. I mean, I'm not scared of anything. There's nothing for me to hide. If you have any questions, ask me. Do not assume. The problem is you take something, you see something, and then you start throwing tantrums. The thing is, you see something that you do not understand. Ask. Don't keep quiet about it. Don't start acting moody. Don't throw tantrums, because there are people that will see something they don't like, and then they'll start creating drama, and you're like, where is this drama coming from? But when there is an honest conversation, you want an honest conversation, ask, what is this? I want to understand. But personally, touching my partner's phone, I can do it, but it's not really something I think about. Most of the time, I've never been interested because I don't care. Yes.
Yeah, I think I want to agree with what my friend had just said. It's a subjective matter. It's a divided issue. I know we have equal people that are either on touching someone's phone or not touching another person's phone. But then this is depends. One, are you touching it to use it to make calls? There's touching the phone and there's snooping in the phone.
In the phone.
Touching, I can actually give it to you, and you're going to the supermarket, you touch it for me and keep it for me. But then snooping is where snooping is where the problem is,
Comes, yeah.
and this is where ladies come in now, because it's rare to find a man that is going through their partner's phone. But then for me, I think it's an aspect also depends with what kind of job that your partner is doing, because you see, in some aspects, some people are doing jobs that are actually directly involving other people's personal issues. So if I agree that you can't touch my phone as a partner and you are this snooping kind of a person, and let's say I'm a psychiatrist or a counselor, where people are sharing their very, very confidential things with me. So you see, in one way, I'm kind of breaching what I am supposed to be keeping confidential for some other individuals. But where possible, if someone was to actually go through my phone, then like he said, do not assume, because the message was meant for me. not for you. So the way you will decode the message will be as per your own interest, not what probably was the initial meaning of that message. So can you kindly ask so that I can explain? And if you're asking, are you asking open-minded or are you asking already with conclusions?
I want to believe, when it comes to your relationships, do you believe my phone is my phone, or is my phone? As in, is it like a ground rules, like never touch my phone?
In my relationships, I wouldn't say yes, because I believe my phone is our phone. If I can allow my kid to have my phone, play games, I can do the same with you. But the question is, like I said, what is your interest in my phone? Right? That is where the problem comes. If your interest is snooping in the phone, that you see, what is talked of character? What's your character? Because your character might be the one that might either stop me from giving you access to my phone. Is this someone that if you get something that you think you don't understand, you'll ask? Or is it someone that when you get something that you don't understand, you'll start creating unnecessary dramas? Obviously, if it's about unnecessary dramas, I will prevent that. How do I prevent that? By telling you not to access my phone.
Because I tend to believe that show me your phone, I tell you what kind of a person you are. You're either a loyal partner, or a cheater, or a flatter.
I don't think any man is. I wouldn't say a cheater in this context. In the sense, um, when it comes to the phone,
Mm.
it's a personal gadget. That's number one. That's the ground rule. It's usually a personal phone.
Personal. Remember, in this relationship, we are sharing everything, even your private parts. But when
It's
it comes
okay.
to the phone, there it's where we draw the line.
It's because the private parts are very straightforward. We know it's 1 2. That's it.
But you don't
But
keep going, showing them everywhere to
there's no
everyone.
language. There's no language with your hands. Your hands are just the way
Mm,
they are.
mm, mm, mm,
There's
mm.
no interpretation, right? Do you interpret how,
Yes.
how your hands are? Do you even think about how my hands look like? You don't bother because you know that's how they are, right? But when it comes to the phone, interpretation matters because it's a communication gadget. Communication is very, very important when it comes to a relationship. And I think these are issues again you have to have these discussions and observe your partner as you continue in the relationship to know how they react to different forms of communication.
Mm.
And interpretation is very, very important. There's a person, most women I have seen are overthinkers. Like they get information, they will think a million times what you meant. For example, a woman can just pass by and say, "Hey, today you look amazing than last week." That single statement, she will carry it that night and ask you the following day, what did she mean? You get? So she has made her assumptions, she's answered herself, she's cancelled her answers, she's now looking for validation. At that point, she wants proof. Is there anything going on between you and that person? So sometimes it's very, very important to understand that when it comes to communication, how someone interprets that information really matters with them. So it is me to ask. There is what we call, I have what we call the Four Agreements by a guy called Don Miguel. Don Miguel wrote a book called The Four Agreements. It's a very powerful book.
Mhm.
One of the rules is do not make assumptions. Always ask questions.
Mhm.
You find something you don't understand in the phone,
Yeah.
don't make an assumption.
But what's your do you have like a stand thing? Do not touch my phone,
No, I
or
don't.
it's open.
I expect number one for you to respect my privacy. That just like as I respect yours. That's rule number one.
So
Respect my privacy.
while someone is respecting your privacy, does it mean that never ever touch my phone?
I'm not going to. When you say that, it means that there's something you're trying to conceal. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
That is usually a red flag in the first place.
Mm.
Why would you tell me such a thing? It means there's
Okay.
something you're trying to hide.
All
Huh?
right.
So it's just unspoken rules that there's privacy. Everyone has their own privacy, and I expect you to respect mine. I wouldn't go picking your phone all the time. If someone calls, and like for example, there's a time before this show, you held my phone and my dad called,
Yeah.
and you told me your dad is calling.
Mm.
That's how it's expected to be. Like you
Yeah.
see a call, you tell me, hey, someone is calling, and I'll tell you, I'm not feeling like picking that right now, or I'll pick later, I'll communicate later.
Okay.
So it's a matter of, it's unspoken language. Respect my privacy, I will respect your privacy. But it does not mean when you see something on my phone, probably by just chance. Let's say the phone is on the table and you happen to be on doing something close to it and a message pops up. How you react is based on your assumptions you made of that message.
It will depend on what I've seen.
So ask
Mm.
what it meant.
And this is, I just want to build on that. It depends with what you've seen. And this is what comes to understanding what the actual meaning is.
Yes.
Because, yes, you've seen it, but then he can decode it better for you. That is why I'm saying the message is for me, the message is for you. So before I make assumptions, I need to ask. It's also a very simple one. Like when we say it, you have your own what do you, these things that handbag. I'm your man. If you ever come see me going through your handbag, what's your first reaction?
Yes. Weird, huh?
No. What's your
It's
reaction?
privacy.
What's your reaction?
I don't mind.
No,
I'm
for
sure you
you.
Maybe
would.
I've sent you
Even your
some
face
TikTok
tells that
clips.
you would mind.
I
Even your
wouldn't
face,
mind.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
But you will have the question. But in your mind, you'll be like, what
What
is
are you
he
looking
doing?
for?
What is he looking for? Right?
You can ask me.
You can answer. It's different with, babe, I want to pick something here. So that even next time I do it, you won't have any negative thoughts about it. It's just the same like going through my wallet without telling me. There's nothing private, probably money and my ID. But the thing is, why are you doing it without my consent? That is where it comes. So it comes back to what is the culture within ourselves, right? Is the aspect of I can go through your phone, I can have your phone and play games. Yet when someone calls, I'll respectful tell you, hey babe, someone is calling. I can have your phone and do whatever I'm doing, but when someone texts, I'll be like, hey babe, here's a text for it's not mine. So I can have your phone, but then to what limit do I access your phone? It's a private gadget.
We've all agreed, like, the problem is not the phone, but the way people interact or the way people communicate. But they should not be like privacy. You can never, ever touch.
Yeah, it's the point
It
that
should be open.
it should be open. The thing is, I trust you, you trust me. So I do not have a problem accessing your phone, and you do not have a problem accessing my phone. But again, you respect that it's your phone, and sometimes you could have discussions with your clients that are very confidential, and you have to. There must be a like a line. Okay, I respect your privacy, you respect mine. It does not mean that I cannot use your phone. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like there is no explicit an explicit disclaimer that you must not touch my phone.
Okay.
You must not access my no. For example, even with me, I rarely have passwords on my phone, even a pattern. Like the only thing you have to do is just swap, and you're already into my phone. I have nothing to hide. Why should I hide? If I want to hide, I'll delete. I'll block that person when I'm with you, or I'll hide that conversation. There's a way I can hide, so that there's when you see, even if you go to my archives, you won't find that person. But I'll have found a way to manipulate. Okay, there's a way you can put private conversations on WhatsApp, especially on an iPhone. So you can only see those private conversations if I allow you to, because you must also have the password to those private conversations. So what it means generally is when you're in a relationship, whether it's especially long term, I'm not talking of short term, whatever. I'm talking of long term. You want to build a relationship that will lead to long term marriage with this person. You have to discuss and agree that yes, there is privacy, there's openness. You feel free, trust me, but please, let's also respect each other's privacy. If there's something you see that it doesn't sit well with you, have honest conversations. Do not be the type of a person that holds information and then you wait after 1 month is when you tell me, on this date I saw this message. I hate such things. Like if you see, I'm the type of a person, if there is a mistake, there is something, or there is something you do not understand, even if it's not a mistake, something you do not understand, ask, communicate, so that I can clarify. And if you're not satisfied with my clarification, then do your own digging and find the information and let's have a conversation. But again, just be careful so that you do not create rabbit holes where you start suspecting someone even in the future, because now there's a day I saw a message, but because you didn't ask or you didn't have a clear thought out discussion and you cleared that issue, you still have emotions harbored in your heart. So that means in the future, even if you see something small, for example, you saw someone say, hey, when are we meeting? Okay, next time someone says, calls you, a woman calls, you don't care who that person is. As long as it's a woman, you're like, this person wants to go and meet this one. So he's cheating on me. So yeah, communication is important.
Yeah. So I think for me the basis is what is the communication about? Because you see, sometimes there are things that I feel we assume, but they're there. One thing is a woman will always get hit on. So if I was to take her phone, those are things I expect.
Mm.
But then how do we have these conversations? Right? How do we have these conversations? And now the vice versa is true because men have come to realize what women want. Men have come to realize that women want not to see anything suspicious in our phones.
Mm.
And by his statement, if he said, so if he doesn't have a password, so for another one be like, oh, this is a clean guy, right?
Mm.
But secondly, you find that there's a way that he can hide conversations. So obviously, there's something that is going on.
Mm.
But to this woman who doesn't know that you can hide conversation or do whatever, this is the right guy. I'm not saying that if
Mm.
conversation are being hidden, there's something personal. Like I said, conversation might be hidden because that conversation you had with that specific person is confidential and really
Mm.
doesn't mean that there needs to be something to do with cheating, right?
Mm.
But then, can we just talk things out?
Mm.
Let's just talk things out. And if there's something that is bothering, and men do suffer in a way that if I was to say something, we're always cornered to aspect of proving that whatever we are saying is what is true.
Mm.
So we have conversations of not understanding, but conversations of you're waiting me to say something wrong to corner me so that I can start proving myself.
Mm.
Like for example, what he said, when are we meeting, might be a business
Mm.
thing, right? So maybe he didn't actually text back. I decide to call. But because you saw that message, I'll have to prove who that is. Why didn't you respond? Why
Mm.
did you do this? Right?
Mm.
So I think it's an aspect of how much do we understand each other? How much open are we? And still respect my phone. We are the thing is what you're saying is you can it's not that you cannot touch it. We are just saying respect it.
We respect men's phone, but we are able to access anytime we want to make calls. Yes,
It's not
we
no.
No,
This is
no,
not
no, no,
this
no,
is
no.
not respecting a man's phone. Are we can no
our men's
can we
phone.
access your phones?
Yeah, for
You
me,
Then
I
as
then I think what we need to say is respect your partner's phone.
respect your partner's phone.
fun, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, is there anything that you feel like we need to add? We need to add?
I think when it comes to phones,
Mm.
there is the aspect of social media. Social media is a frenzy. There's a lot of frenzy, social media frenzy out there. And what happens is that we relationships nowadays naribiongo on social media.
Mm.
Like if we are very honest, a lot of ladies compare themselves a lot on social media. I've noticed one thing about successful people that I've seen and even heard. Most of them are not on social media. They have a team that has manages their accounts, but they're never there. They don't have their accounts in the first place. I'll give you. There are a few businessmen I know that are successful. They are not on Instagram. They are not on Facebook. They are not on TikTok. They are not on whatever. You know why? Because social media, number one, is takes a lot of time. It's a distraction. I'm using it because of what I'm doing, but I know it's a distraction. Now, sometimes ladies will go there to just see, products. They see other ladies, see places and everything, and then they see their friends being taken out on dates. Remember, at that time, bro, you cannot take her to any fancy hotel. Some dude is taking some chick to an expensive hotel, buying her roses and flashing her with some 100K or half a million just in one video.
Mm.
Tell me that woman, one video, second video, third video, in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you're not doing anything close to that. Even something like even buying her an expensive gift, so that, some people will want to compare themselves with others. Like you find a woman will just get gifts, take pictures, snap, and tell the world, you know what? Today my boyfriend bought me stuff. So you find that you want to compare yourself with that person while you're on a different level. That person they're dating is probably financially 100 times than your boyfriend.
Mm.
So they have the financial capacity to do all that. So social media pressure is affecting a lot of relationships, especially young relationships or even matured relationships, but where there is a lot of influence from social media, trying to compare ourselves to other people, not understanding that we're in different stages of life. That person is in chapter 10, I'm still in chapter 2. So we need to be patient with each other.
Yeah. We need to love our people or partners in the same, wherever they are.
Yes,
We understand
and
where
be
they are
patient.
financially, and then we be comfortable with that. And when we look at people in the social media, some of them, even those things, it's not like they
They're
own them.
fake, yeah.
Some are brand whatever
Yeah,
stuff, so
yes.
don't have the pressure.
I think for me, there's a conversation that we need to have about the phone, and we need to. I think we need to ask ourselves, what does cheating mean when we're talking about conversations over the phone?
Mm,
Because like you brought it, we have so many conversations. We have so many social medias. There's IG, there's WhatsApp, there's X, amongst others.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about cheating, not only those texts, but then if you're talking about cheating over the phone, over social media, what does it mean? Because I
mm,
think that's the definition that we need to have as people. This can be actually partner centered. It doesn't have to be something that is cutting across, because
mm,
cheating for someone like me doesn't like something to do with social media might be different from someone who is actually so engaged into showbiz,
mm,
right?
mm,
Yeah.
So I think those are conversations that we need to have. Like, if this happens, this is cheating. If this doesn't happen, then this is just normal,
mm,
right? And also another conversation we need to have is, to what extent, because we now have issues with we give our kids our phones,
mm,
right? To what extent do our kids access our phones? Because for us, we also, there are those a lot of things that we watch over phone.
mm,
So to what extent do we also go there? But I think for me, to stop this or to try and curb these issues to do with the phone, then we need to start having those conversation of understanding each other. What does cheating mean,
mm,
right? If I see that someone has texted you like, "Oh, today you look amazing," there's a word you use, "You look sexy," right?
mm,
And you said, "Oh, thanks." Is it worth for me to say that
mm,
you're cheating? Because that can prompt me to say, okay, today he said it, maybe you deleted the conversation. There
mm,
has been previous conversations. You
mm,
get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you react to that? How do we solve such like issues? Because for me, the issue is not the phones per se, but us as
yeah,
individuals, us
trust.
as peoples.
Mm,
If we see such conversations, if we see such things, then how do we do? Because for some of us will be like, if you tell me that, oh, this guy is hitting on me, but you keep talking to him, you keep responding to their texts,
mm.
is that cheating? By the way, is that cheating?
Entertaining them.
Is entertaining cheating?
Yeah, why are you know this person wants you, and you keep entertaining their conversations, you keep, engaging them. If they actually invites you out for something, you go. And you have a man, you're in a committed relationship with someone, yet here you are going for coffees with someone else.
And I think, as you said, just to add on that, it's we need to have a conversation as a couple, as you guys are working. I'm not talking of people that are calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm talking of people that want to be fiance and married, like you want to get into a long-term relationship.
People in committed
People in a
relationships.
committed relationship, a
Yeah.
committed long-term relationship,
Mm-hmm.
is you need to define what constitutes cheating to you. What does it mean when you say someone is cheating?
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm cheating, what do you mean when we say cheating? What does it mean to you?
Can I elaborate for you?
No,
Like for me personally.
okay, go ahead.
So cheating for me, especially emotional cheating, it's where I am your woman, right? For example, we are dating. I'm your main chick.
Mm,
And here you are entertaining someone else.
mm,
You're giving them your attention, you're chatting with them till morning,
mm,
you keep taking them out for stuff.
Okay.
It's not like someone that you work with. Ata if it's someone that you work with, there's an extent that you engage them. But this one, you're
Mm.
always engaging them. When you have issues, you go to them.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this there are two things. Number one, you need to understand your partner as a man. You need to understand their psychology. And I need one thing. I think one thing a lot of ladies struggle with, and even sometimes gentlemen, is understanding the psychology of a man, understanding the psychology of a woman. As a woman, it's good to understand, and I usually recommend this to ladies: read masculine books. You will understand a lot of things about men that mainstream won't tell you. You will find out a lot of things that have been written by men and women that have dealt with men for a very long time that you will not discover by yourself. Someone said that reading books is like living a thousand lives. What it means is reading and listening to people that are uh, you get wisdom that you can't get by yourself. So the first step is understand this gender, this other gender. Read books about them if you can. Listen to podcasts that listen to people that have already been in such relationships before to understand who men are, how they think. A man could talk to a woman. This is something very controversial, and it could take us to a rabbit hole. But I'm going to say this: just understand a man, understand how men think. Even as men, I've seen a lot of men make a mistake of doing things that are not. There are things as a man you're not supposed to do to a woman. That a man will think, oh, I'm making this woman feel appreciated. Sometimes you have to do some things that are going to make you look like a bad boy, but it's actually going to make her more interested in you. You know, good boys never good boys always eat last. If you in this dating market, good boys always eat last.
But you are here in a committed relationship and you keep entertaining this chick
What
every time.
constitutes attention? You know, what are they trying to communicate? What are they doing in that
Yeah, that's what
conversation?
I'm
And then
saying.
the question
Mm.
is what he's looking for. You know, it all comes back to the man as well. As a man, ni nini unataka kwa life? What are you trying to achieve? Okay. And then sometimes you find someone that is pretty. We are men, huh? We get attracted but just by the physical outlook. It's natural. You see a woman, she's beautiful, she's attractive, and you just want to know her. You know, sometimes it's just
Know
curiosity.
how.
No,
Know
it's
her
not
how.
not in intimately. You just want to know her as a person, okay? But then if your woman sees that, they think you that person is going to be. But of course, I think sometimes competition anxiety is good for a relationship sometimes because at least it makes a woman realize, you know what? Hey, I have to up my game. Otherwise, this guy is gonna be taken away from me. I'm just saying. Well, as I said, it's gonna take us on a rabbit hole. But generally, I think partners need to understand each other, understand who you're dealing with, have those conversations. What constitutes cheating? How do we handle conversations when I see conversation in your social media? When I see someone tagging you, when I see someone liking your photos all the time on Facebook or on TikTok or on IG, how do I react? Because if you go to his IG and you realize there's a particular lady that is always liking, you'll have questions. So again, you must have conversations with your partner.
True. Key is conversations. Like you say, key is conversation because right now sometimes we do not have control over whatever is happening on social media and everything. Plus, when he was saying that understanding your partner and the psychology of men or women, something that came in my mind is you see, a teacher is totally different from someone who works with the community, right? Because for a teacher, we know that it is just you and the students, and then you deal with your other teachers, colleagues. But for someone who deals with the community, there are other issues that are involved. One, for example, this partner, this person might be actually mandated to actually bring other partners to the organization. You know what that means? That means that this person is going to have conversations with people. This means that there are possibility that this person is going to have people interested in them,
Mhm.
right? Do you understand that? Do you know your partner? In such conversations, if such happens, is your partner confident enough to come and have this conversation with you? Are you a listening partner? That if I come from there and I tell you, like, you know what, by the way, there's someone, I went to do one, two, and three, but out of that, someone got interested in me. Are you gonna understand and try to help me a way out, because you're also a lady. Try
Mm.
to help me, like, okay, this is how you can deal, or you are going to have me to start proving why I am not interested in that part.
All right, very
No,
interesting conversations.
one thing I also take from that is that sometimes it gets to a point that it's no longer communication, but it's a defensive committee meeting. Yes,
You're
the,
called to defend
it's a
yourself.
defense.
It's like you're in court.
That's a thesis you have to defend. You said this, Ama, she said this. Why did she say that? Give me the background. Now you have to sit there, defend. Now she's looking for the loopholes in in your narration. The next time she brings up the same conversation and calculates
Yeah.
the what you said last time versus what you said today.
Mm.
There's this you said that you didn't say last time,
Mhm.
and last time you said this and you didn't say today.
Mhm.
You're hiding something, so
Mm.
it becomes like a game, like hiding, taking. So I think again, communication.
Yeah.
Communicate, understand where your partner is coming from, understand where they came from, childhood, understand their psychology, their socialization and their psychology
Mm.
as is your partner, as people. They're human beings, okay?
Mm.
Before they became your partner, they were normal people. It
Mm.
is until they came, hey Janet, you look beautiful, can I take that, you even noticed them in the first place.
Mhm.
Probably you noticed them but you didn't care, but now you've noticed them and they're interested to be in your life. So you have to understand where did they come from before you met them.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Mm.
once you understand where they came from, now you can be able to work towards it. But again, I have to caution this: do not be a rehabilitation center for someone that is damaged, for someone that doesn't work on themselves, for someone that doesn't want to have hard conversations. Do not be a rehabilitation center. That's not your work, because it's going to take a lot of work. And remember, someone that you met while was broken, the moment they're fixed, you're not going to be their first partner to use. It's a psychological thing. It is when you met me broken, and now I am fixed in the relationship. And it comes from issues like understanding things like, for example, their father was a serial cheater.
Mhm.
This is someone that now has a very negative attitude towards men and relationships. No, imagine fixing that person. It's a lot of work. So again, you have to understand your partner, communicate effectively, have consistent dialogues, be exposed, find people that you can have conversations with,
Mm.
besides the two of you, to iron out these things and learn new perspectives that could shape how your relationship takes off in the future.
Okay, me, I have to defend women. I know we know when we see something. Yeah, it's not like are we overthinking? I don't think so. I know we know. What's your closing remarks?
um Women should stop assuming things.
True.
Women need to be open for conversations, and partners need to communicate to each other. We need to set a culture of what happens to our phones,
Mm,
what is the use of our phones.
mm,
All right, because even sometimes in an aspect of we go to field work, so we have colleagues and be like, hey, get good photos of me on this spot, and I innocently forget that. Remember,
mm.
I innocently took photos of you as a colleague, right? But then my woman will want me to prove why my phone and not the other
The other
person's phone.
person's phone.
So I think let us just have that open conversation, open communication. And if you're setting boundaries about phones, let the boundaries be for both partners. Let it not be that it works for this individual but doesn't work for this other person. Yes.
Mm,
But finally, we are agreeing. We are agreeing that the issue is not the phone, but the people. Communicate, communicate. Get to understand your partners, and get to understand what is cheating and define it, especially when it comes to phones. All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming today. Yes, I enjoyed these conversations. It was hot, hot, hot. Guys, please watch this video. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends. A special thank you to Maono for this amazing space. Thank you to the Kollywood company for shooting this video. Bye. See you on the next one.